Hello and welcome to another chess video. This is Sixter. So I'm playing e4, and he's playing d6, and he plays knight f6, and he's playing a sort of modern, this is called a modern opening. It's kind of like the King's Indian, just with an e4 push. I'm just going to go for the old Karpov approach. I think it's a Karpov approach. This is what he does. He kind of just develops his pieces into the center. Very simple approach. Now, before castling, you want to get h3 out of the way before you castle, so that if he does his pin before you castle, now you have the option of g4, and you're not opening up your king because your king's not there. So, do I want to play g4? Then castle queenside or something? Is that an idea? I really don't know. What if we do this crazy thing and just keep developing? It's a crazy idea. And he's just going to keep making pawn pushes. And then, okay, so knight d7, c5 is going to be his breakthrough, his pawn break, and I'm not sure if I'm ready to handle that just yet. But remember what we said about this g4 idea? So I might play g4, bishop g6, only move, then h4, prompting him to do something with his pawns. Using a lot of time here. Using a lot of time. Could also just castle kingside, which is sensible. I really just have to make a move now. Let's go for this stuff. Why not? It's Blitz. That's what I feel like doing right now. Alright. So that just might be a good response. If I go here, this is the kind of stuff I want to do. Alright. Now I want to castle queenside. Yeah, it's one way to play. Don't know if it's a good way to play, but castle queenside and see how I open lines on the king side. I think this could be good for me. Otherwise I'll just get killed. So we'll see if this is a good idea or not. c5, I think I was looking at knight to b5 ideas. Okay, so he undevelops a piece, which is certainly an idea. He probably has a plan, right? I usually assume that my opponent has a plan. But I'm just going to trade these guys off and castle queenside. Where's his king going, or is he just keeping his king in the center? That's one idea. But. Let's play king b1 first. Little waiting move. Okay, he might be thinking of just castling queenside himself. Straight out these bishops. Get this this knight to a more active square because it wasn't doing much on c3. So I think he's going to castle queenside. I think that was the whole point of his maneuvers. I'm not sure if he wants to take on h4. I'm gonna pretend that I saw that pawn was hanging. I'm gonna pretend that I saw that. So it's a clever sacrifice by me. I think he's probably gonna take it. I don't see the harm in it. Yeah, I do get counterplay. If takes, I take, knight takes. Rook here, knight back. Either it's a g6, I don't think he can get to f3. Knight back's a g6, say. I play rook h7. I have some pressure. Okay, he doesn't take the pawn. Which means I can push the pawn, because pawns are meant to be pushed, right? And then I can do this to continue the pressure. So I'm putting pressure on f7. How does he plan to defend it? He might just have to push f6, which is not calamitous. That's a word, right? Yeah. It's not a calamity for him. I think it's a word. So f6 I think is the move. F6, then I just take and things open up. Or he does a pawn sacrifice. Yeah, I have this because I have a check in the end on d6. So if his idea was to pin like that, but then I have a check on d6 at the end, so I actually get out of it, and therefore I win a pawn.
Check.
Okay, is he giving up the exchange too? Yeah, so he's down a pawn and the exchange now. So he decided to just give me more material. And let's see if I can win this game without losing on time now. Okay. So I'm just trying to not lose on time. That's usually a good plan. Honestly, let's just make moves. He might trade rooks. Okay, and this is easier with less material on the board. So he picks that up. Let's just protect my pawns. Okay, and get my rook active on his back rank. So I'm going to swing my rook around. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pawns. We're even on pawns. So you can have that one. I'm going to take this one. I think this is more important because now I have this passed pawn. It's ready to go. It's ready to go. It's ready to go. How are you stopping that pawn?
Check.
Okay, how are you stopping that pawn? You're not going to take on b2, are you? How are you stopping this pawn? Are you stopping that pawn? I don't think so. I think that pawn's going through. Oh, so he took on b2.
Check.
Now you have no more checks, and that pawn is a queen. Okay, let's just get a queen. And then I think I should be able to win this game.
Checkmate.
With checkmate. Okay, so pretty happy with that one. The modern opening. Just making developing moves. This is all okay. And then the computer thinks this is okay. It's okay. It's sound. Alright, so this is all sensible. Yeah, that was a little bit inaccurate. I think this was a better move. Then I would have played this. With this threat. And king f8 is what the computer wants to do. And then I castle queenside, and who knows what's going on, right? So he goes back, take, castle queenside. And h5, and yes, now I seize the advantage. Good. Knight takes f7 works. He missed that I have a check in the end, so he thought that he was picking up the piece.
Check.
And then I don't know what he saw here, because he take, and he ended up giving the rook for the knight. So then the rest of the game happened.
Checkmate.
Thanks for watching.